Also, I have already done my brows. The reason for that is because when I this morning bleached my hair again, I decided to also bleach my eyebrows. Which means that I cannot see where they are. Well, hello my lovely nestlings and welcome to today's video where I'm going to do a full face of Makeup Revolution. I have quite a few new things from them. I have the IRL foundation, I have a new primer, I have a new eyeshadow palette, and for the rest I kinda shopped my stash a little bit. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm 46, yes, from the Netherlands, hence the accent. And if you love makeup just as much as I do, if you want to be inspired by unusual color combinations, and if you're slightly orcish, which is important in today's video, like me, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe now, become part of my nestlings, because we are having a blast here on the internet. As you see, let me first explain the slightly orcish. It means olive. I am a light to light medium warmish olive. That's what I am. Yes. Why is that important in today's video? Well, because the foundation that I'm going to try from Makeup Revolution, it's not an olive, so I have to mix it. So if the color is a little bit off, it's that. Also, I have already done my brows. The reason for that is because when I this morning bleached my hair again, I decided to also bleach my eyebrows. Which means that I cannot see where they are. And which is both a good thing and a bad thing. so I have to plaster the mirror very much there. So that's why they are already filled in. And I also don't have brow products from Makeup Revolution. So there is that. I think I have everything except then brow products and falsies. Yes. So let's just get started. Let's start with the primer. They launched a new, I don't know, basically a summer collection, and they have the Kombucha Skinshot Peach and Kombucha primer. And I was like, that sounds very interesting. I kind of did swatch it already because I want to feel it, because I thought it was a cream, but it's actually more like a jelly. So, can you see? Yes, I have two pumps. It's because I like that. So, okay. It spreads out nicely. It feels nice on the skin. It is setting, and it's getting a little bit sticky, which is fine. That's usually what happens with something like this. So that is all okay. Okay, I'm also going to kind of try to hide the bags a little bit. So I have the Revolution, what is it? Eye Bright Corrector Pot. And this is what she looks like. Yes, and I just have a very small brush. Kind of tap it in a little bit. And then tap it where I need it the most. Which sometimes is on my entire face. And with this, less is more. You can, it's better to build this one up, because if you start with too much, it kind of can look cakey. Okay, let's go to the foundation. So I actually have a sample here. I have already opened it up, and I'm going to use the shade 8.5. I don't remember what it is described as. The shade name 8.5. I think it was a light medium warm. And that's usually what I go for. If they don't have an olive, I usually go for a light medium warm, so I can just pull in a blue color corrector. And the one that I have is from AOA Studios. So I'm just going to scoop out the foundation, and I'm going to mix in the blue color corrector and then smear it on the face. Now the shade range of this is quite strange, because if you look at the swatches, and also if I see here, basically 8.5, which is one of the darker shades. It's the lightest one in this pack, so it's kind of, I don't know why they did that. But also I have been working in the garden yesterday, or I worked in the garden yesterday, and I am already almost thinking that this is maybe a hint too light for me, but we shall see. I'm going to mix in a little bit more. I got a sample size of this because the last time that I bought a foundation basically on a whim, let's see if I like it, it was the one from Danessa Myricks. the True Vision thing, I believe, which I detest. I don't like that one at all. So I was like, let me get a sample first. Also because I did not really know the shade that I wanted. Let's just bounce this in. I am going to build it up in certain places. A little. Is it me or is it splotchy? I don't know. Oh wow, that's setting quickly. Now my face is normal. It can get a little bit dehydrated, but I don't know. It's not really oily. It's not really dry. Okay. Well, I do have a concealer from Makeup Revolution, but I'm afraid it's way too light. We are going to use it anyway. Oh, it is okay. This is actually the shade 5.7, which is my winter color, winter olive color from Makeup Revolution. Oh, I thought that maybe I had to set this foundation, but I do not. It's very, the foundation right now looks like I have already set it. So, that's how it feels, or how it looks, but it doesn't feel it. So it's kind of interesting. The weird part is now that I'm a little bit more tan, this one, which I actually bought, that I said that's a contour shade for me, it will probably work for me as a bronzer right now. I don't know why that is, but it is. So I swatched this one and the other one that I used on my arm in a minute ago. Oh, it's very, oh dear. So this happened, unfortunately. Huh? First thing I have to do now is clean my hair before it can basically, you know, settle in. It's fine, it's all fine. I have two Super Dewy products for blush, so let's start with the blush, the actual blush. This is in the color Flushing for You. And this is a little bit more of a base for the highlighter, blusher highlighter that I'm going to use. I can already tell that I need a little bit more. And I put a little bit on the back of my hand and then basically pick it up with the brush, kind of swirl the brush on my hand a little bit to make sure that the thing that happened with the bronzer doesn't happen with the blush as well. And then I just tap it on. Then I'm going to go to the Super Dewy in the shade Pink Lights. And this I use a little bit differently. I put a little bit on my fingers, do that. And then I basically tap it on. That way I get maximum pigment. And what I can do then is just take the brush and basically tap it in a little bit more. And if I feel like it's a little bit too much, which is here, I just go over it with a sponge. And I don't really have the side that I used the foundation on to begin with. Now I'm turning it, a little bit of foundation left on the sponge, and I go over it again. But basically just a little bit more on the borders of where I put it. Let's do some freckles. Although right now probably more like a Dalmatian. I have the freckle product from Makeup Revolution, but I kind of forgot how dark and liquidy it is. So if you're not paying attention, you can kind of look like a Dalmatian a little bit. And honestly, this stuff you have to wash off, because if it's set, Hell, you can make fake tattoos with this. That's how well it stays. So if you are looking for a dark freckle product, this could be very much it for you. Apparently I'm very freckled today. Okay, let's grab the brush with the blush and kind of go over it a little bit. Not that it will help, because once it's on there, it ain't going away. But that's okay. It is all okay. Today, yes. I kind of want to use a little bit of powder underneath my eyes. So I have the Hydra matte powder from Makeup Revolution. Well, everything is from Makeup Revolution right now. So I actually like their other powder better though than this one. Yeah, for underneath my eye, this is not the correct powder. Not with this foundation. Oh Lord, I'm sucking the life right out of my under eyes. But if I don't powder, it will keep on creasing. And I don't like that. Let's go to the, what's it called again? Eye primer. From eye primer from Makeup Revolution, I only have one, which is this one. It's the Prime and Lock. It's not my favorite to do an eye look with, but we're going to use it today anyway. I do like this when I'm doing eye swatches though. So there is that. Let's zoom you in a little. Okay, eyes are primed. And I am looking forward to the palette because the palette is very, very cute. So here she is. Very, yeah, oh yeah, I just dug my finger in some of the shades. It's a very, very cute color story. I decided to swatch the palette a little bit just to see how the colors are on me. And what kind of eye look I want to do. Because I kind of don't really know right now. Let's just see how far we get. I'm going to cram as many eyeshadows on my eye as I can today. Okay. So let's start with a brush. Smaller brush. I'm going to start with the shade called Crushed. And it's going to go in my inner eye port area here. Okay, so that's almost the depth of my skin tone. Okay, that's fine. If you're darker, it will show up, and if you're lighter, it will also show up. But on me, the only thing that I think you could see potentially is that it is turning a little bit peachy, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to go to let's then go to the shade Breezy, so I can see what that one does, just with the same brush, because it's okay. I'm going to put that a little bit more here. Okay, so that one I am seeing. So it's kind of turning a little bit orangey on me, which is fine. Okay, let's tap out the creasing a little bit more. I am next going to go to the shade, let's go to the pink. So let's go to the shade Ripe and Ready, which is a matte with some micro sparkle in it. And with a fluffier brush, I'm just going to kind of press that here a little bit more in the middle. And that shows up very, very nicely. I think this is also cute as a blush if you can fit your brush in. Just mix it into the front a little bit more. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to tap it a little bit outside there. Okay, next I am going to go to the shade Energy. I'm going to start here. I'm going to tap it on. And then I'm kind of going to tap here. And then a little bit of the shade Breezy. And tap that over, so that you kind of have a gradient, but not really. because the colors don't really want to mix together. So I'm just using that shade Breezy as kind of an in-between a little bit. I'm going to go back to the shade Ripe and Ready, which was that pink, and very lightly just tap over. Kind of like that. Okay. I am going to go back to the shade Energy, which was the green, but now with a flatter brush. And I'm just going to tap it on, basically pack it on a little bit more. I do want to blend out the edge a little bit, so I'm just concentrating that on this shade on the edge. I can actually grab a little bit of the shade Citrus Kick, which is this one. It looks like I'm putting it over the pink, but I'm just using it just above. Cleaning this brush, going back to the shade Breezy. For underneath my eye, I am going to go to the shade Citrus Kick. If I can find a brush that I want to use for that. Citrus Kick is that lighter green matte. Okay, let's start with the shade Summer's Dew, because let's start with that. I've cleaned the brush and let's put that here. And let's be extra and use this as a brow one highlight. For my lid, I am going to grab my jelly primer and a brush. So with the jelly primer, I'm just scooping out a little bit with my brush, then on the back of my hand, and then basically do that, work it in, and then I'm going to tap. I need a little bit more matte shade on my lid first. I'm actually going to go to the shade Ripe and Ready, which is a pink. I'm going to tap it a little bit more there, and then I have a little bit more shadow on my lid. I prefer that. Okay, now I'm this is the side. I'm just going to tap the jelly primer on one eye. Okay, then I'm going to kind of wipe my brush off a little bit. I am going to go to the shade Spill the Juice. Yes, let's go first to Spill the Juice. Outer corner. This is going to be inner corner, and then, oh, that shade, the shade green, the green shade I'm going to use on my lower lash line and a hint in the outer corner. But I'm going to go to Spill the Juice first. I'm going to press that on here. Okay, the other side is going to go to shade Sugar, which was that light pink. Other side of the brush. It's going to go there. I'm going to finesse it later. I'm just going to place it first. Okay. And then with a different brush, I'm grabbing the shade Fruity, which is the green. And I'm also tapping that a little bit over, ooh, that's a nice shade, over the hot pink that I have. And because these are shimmers, you can do that without them turning muddy. So now I'm going to clean this brush. I'm going to kind of swipe it here a little bit to get it to mix a bit. Then I'm going to go back to the shade Spill the Juice, which is that hot pink. Now I am going to swipe it over, and I'm going to kind of intensify it a little bit. This is almost like a satiny shade with a hint more shine than a satin. And then here in the inner part, I'm just going to basically make a gradient. So I'm just pulling and pushing. Okay, and then a little bit of the shade Sugar again, that lightest pink. A little bit back, and then flipping the brush again and putting that hot pink on top. Let's go to the shade Summer's Dew again, which was that lightest shimmer, yellowy one, and put that here as well, kind of over in the inner corner. And I also want that darker green shimmer on the lid. I think I want a hot pink eye pencil. I like this. I'm going to do the same on the other eye, but I am not going to use the shimmer primer. So I'm going to finish off the eyes. I am going to choose a lippy, and then I'll be back to show you the final look and give you my opinion on everything that I used today. I finished off the look with Falsies from AOA Studio in the style Jean. Eye pencil is from Essence. It's an Electric Vibes liner in the shade No Regrets. Lippy is also from Makeup Revolution. Just when playing. I have a lip liner in the shade TGIF. I have a liquid lipstick in the shade Hustle, which I think is going bad because it's kind of smelling weird. Maybe I should toss it out. And then I topped it off with a gloss in the shade Honeycomb. Let's go over everything that I used today. Let's kind of start with the primer. I like the primer. I do want to try it out more, but first impression is I like it. I felt that the foundation went on okay, as well as can be expected with this foundation, but I want to try it out with my other foundations. I also want to compare it to my primer that I love right now a lot, which is the Essence Jelly Primer. Just one half the Essence, the other half this one, and see how they compare. This one does smell more. It has a heavier scent than the one from Essence, but maybe this is easier for you to get. I don't know. I am, as I said, first impression is I like it. I also like the fact that there's no hyaluronic acid in there. Yes, let's then go next to the foundation. The foundation, I ended up powdering it, especially here, because it stayed sticky and I could very easily remove it around my chin area. I feel like it has settled down a little bit more, but I also feel it's kind of cakey. Let's just say that this is not my favorite foundation, and I am very happy that I did not buy the full size of this. This is the second time that I've used it. The first time I did not use it on top of a primer. I just used it on top of my skincare and sunscreen. And I felt like it was dry. It went on patchy and it looked extremely powdery. And I hadn't powdered it. Today it feels better. It feels... now that it has settled down a bit, it feels like I have nothing on. It does feel a hint dry here, but that's basically it. For the rest, it did play well with the rest of the products. It didn't lift it off. However, when I'm looking, I have a very small magnifying mirror, which is 2 times magnification, so that I can see what I'm doing, because, you know, I'm vintage. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. Never mind. And I can very much see in that tiny mirror how my foundation is looking, and that's not a good thing. That's not... No. I want a foundation that when you see me, you're like, yeah, you have foundation on, but for the rest, that's kind of it. I don't want you to be able to see, well, basically everything. So let me show you what it looks like zoomed in without the brightness of the lights. So, yes, this is what it's doing. It's cakey here around the nose, very much so, which is fine. If I do this, that it then looks cakey, I'm fine with. But when it's basically just doing stuff and I can already see that it's cakey, it's very much, it emphasizes a spot that I have here, which I have no idea what that is. It emphasizes my lines very, very much so here. And I don't know, it almost looks like it's breaking up in certain places. Mainly here. And that's kind of weird. But that it very much emphasizes the lines here and that it's doing something there that I don't like. So for me, this is a no. Also, it's a soft matte finish and I don't go for soft matte finish. I want a foundation that has either a little bit of, not extreme luminosity, but a little bit of luminosity to it, or a natural finish that I can powder and basically set if I want to. So yeah, it's just a, oh, underneath my eyes it's also not looking good. It's just interesting, and the powder that I actually used a different powder last time underneath my eyes, and it's a powder that I've been using quite a lot. It was the one from Kosas, and it also very much sucked the life right out of my under eyes. So for me, it's a no. If you are dry, it will be a no. If you are oily, I don't know. I feel like basically the powder ratio that's in the foundation, so the cream and powder ratio that's in the foundation, it's off. That's how I feel though. It could also be that I just have too much going on in my skin. So maybe you are, I don't know, 20 years younger than me and you're like, I want to try it, then by all means go ahead and try it. I will see if I can find the sample cards on Makeup Revolution's site, so you can at least, you know, try a sample card if you're not sure. If you can go into store, ask for a sample there. Color wise, the color 8.5 depth wise was already too light for me right now. So, but my Kosas is, all my foundations are too light because I have been working in the garden. So I tan quickly and I never get tan. That's what I always say. But yeah, it was a little bit too light, but that's okay. You can usually bronze it up a bit. It wasn't olive though. So, and that's also okay. But I'm very happy that I did not buy the full size. Yeah, for me, it's a no. But I have heard other people raving about this. So, you know, go watch more videos. If you really want to get this foundation, go watch other people's videos as well, because maybe they have a very, very different experience. Okay, let's go to the palette, to the eyeshadow palette. Now, let me also give a disclaimer that hopefully editing me kind of put in the beginning of the video as well. There are pressed pigments in here. So it's the pinks and it's this one. Those are the pressed pigments, and use at your own discretion. I am European, right? I can buy this palette here, so for me it's very much safe to use, and in my opinion at least, because it has been approved for eye use through the EU, and the EU is very, very strict, extremely strict with its regulations. So way stricter than the USA is. So that's the disclaimer. You know, yes, there are pressed pigments in here. I will try to pay more attention to that, because I usually don't, but I will try to pay more attention to that. And if there's a pressed pigment warning, use at your own discretion. And that I use them around my eyes does not mean that you also have to, right? Yes, but let's go over the palette. I really like the color story, hence the fact that I bought it. I think it really gives me a watermelon vibe. The only thing that I'm missing here is the pits. Put a very dark brown in for this one, so that I have something to darken up the pink with and darken up the green with more. And that would make it a very, very all-round palette for me. This shade, for me, it doesn't show up. So that's why I'm picking this one. If you are darker, maybe you would pick this one. You know, and then, so that's kind of the only thing that I'm missing. For the rest, I really like it. Yeah, there are micro glitters in here that I don't care about. I think that the color is very, very pretty. It's a little bit more of a, almost a, is it a corally color? Is it coral? I think. I don't know. I don't know, but I really like it. I feel like a watermelon. I have a watermelon downstairs in my refrigerator that I'm going to eat later. So yeah, I do like it. Liked the way it behaves on top of the jelly primer very, very much. I felt that I could get it a little bit more shiny almost than when I sprayed it. But spraying works as well. And I can already tell that I will have no creasing because the formula is way, way drier. So maybe that is helpful. I really like the color story of this palette. I think it makes me, I don't know, want to eat watermelon. I like it. What can I say? I will link down below where you can find it. And again, it has eye safety warnings on it. Use at your own discretion. And I don't know, if you smear this on the eyeballs and your eyeballs start to itch, take it off. You know, it's kind of with everything, right? If you smear something on your face and it starts to itch or hurt, or your face turns very, you know, goes very warm and turns red, take it off. It's not that difficult. At least I don't think so. But that's going to be it for today. I will link down below where you can find everything that I use. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like how the look turned out? I do. This was it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.